What's up, Stay Tuners? It's your good friend Jimbo with a special edition of Stay Tuned Sports. No episode number or anything like that. I'm here with a good friend of mine. Me and King talked about him a little bit on the show. We called him Shoulders.
What up, bro?
His name is, well, I guess we'll stick with Shoulders for now.
Yeah, right now I guess I'm Shoulders.
You know, if you
Unpredictably, you know.
He works
That's just
out
called
a lot.
jealousy there, folks. Jealousy.
So this special episode, I guess I could say, it's been kind of in the making for a few weeks. Me, I'll admit, kind of dragging my feet a little bit. Me and Shoulders are best friends for 20 going on 25 years now. We played in a band together. I fired him. He hated me.
Yeah, fired me. Yep. Yeah, he did it. Mm-hmm.
But the one thing that always stuck true with us, we always had each other's back, and we were always Eagles fans from little. And so this is going to be a majority of a Eagles sports talk show. So for all you Cowboys fans, I don't think you will like this show, so you could go screw off.
As soon as we can take him to spit the words out and get this moving, we'd get a little better here. Understand, though, we will talk different sports. I mean, we're big Philadelphia fans, but we're not your South Philadelphians who are going to just talk nonstop nonsense and not be realistic. We do have some reality to our thinking.
So before we actually get into the show itself, you could head over to Twitter. Follow the show at ST Sports Podcast. You can follow me, my personal one, at Jimbo ST Sports. I don't think Shoulders has a Twitter yet, but maybe he'll come into 21st century, 22nd century, whatever.
I do have a Twitter. I just don't know what it is at the moment.
So
I like to tweet.
tweet. So like I said, we're going to talk a little bit about the Eagles. Me and him for a few weeks now have had very big arguments about what to do with Nick Foles and Carson Wentz, but we'll save that towards the end of the show. The one thing that I really haven't talked to you about lately was about the upcoming free agents that are on the team now. I know we don't have a lot of cap space. I think they're figuring about $6-7 million only.
Correct, yeah.
Thanks to Chip Kelly. Yeah. I almost cursed. See, I'm trying to keep it non-cursing.
I promise nothing.
Shoulders may slip up from minute to minute. But shout out to Wiggles. All right, so I mean, one of the biggest names on our free agent list here is Brandon Graham. I mean, he, other than Nick Foles, he was probably the next big one that stepped up for us in the Super Bowl last year with the strip sack to seal the deal.
Definitely. I mean, my personal opinion, I'm going to start off and throw mine right out there, is we need to keep him. I don't think he's a player that we should get rid of. He's a Fletcher Cox type personality to me, and to be honest with you, I'd get rid of other people before I got rid of him.
Who would you get rid of?
I mean, that's a tough thing. I mean, see, I like Howie Long's kid too, Chris Long, but he's not as productive. Like when Graham's in there.
Well, Chris is a free agent.
He's a free agent also.
He's a free
There we
agent.
go. See, I'm just getting informed. I'm still heartbroken, folks, over this season. Being a big Nick Foles fan, like we said, we're going to dive into that later. So, it's hard for me to talk anything other than that right now because I'm mixed feelings. But
I mean, two names right off the bat that are under contract that maybe they could possibly move or release. Michael Bent is still under contract for another year.
Right.
And Tim Jernigan is under
Jernigan looked good too. That's rough.
But he was hurt most of the season.
And then we're going to talk about, we're going to dive into anything when it comes to these contracts and you can't predict the future. It's simple. Health. And that goes right to our debate with Nick Foles and Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
We have two totally different opinions and respect them.
Yeah.
I'm also not crazy. I could see both sides. So,
yeah.
But when it comes to this defensive line in front, I mean, I like Long and the energy he brings and the charisma. I think he's a little bit too bit of a liberal, but he's a good guy, And Brandon Graham's just a beast. I really like to keep him. And people are going to say I'm crazy, okay? But it comes down to I would get rid of Bennett before I got rid of Brandon Graham.
See, I actually will agree with you. I think we got to keep Graham. I don't know if I like Bennett just because the whole shoulder pad thing. I think it's smart as his part of it. I'm just worried about, and I was worried about this when we traded for him. The baggage he brings. It's kind of like a To thing. It's only a matter of time
Right.
before he acts out. In a
Well,
way.
I'll give you. He was, to me, what I've seen, and I didn't do a lot of press conference stuff like that. Had other things going on, but he was more of a gentleman here and did what he had to do. But I paid that respect to the leadership in the Eagles locker room.
Yeah.
You know, a guy like Malcolm Jenkins, again, who's too liberal for me. But, you know, I get where they're coming from and they're doing things the right way. So I don't think Bennett would be a problem until he just wants to get out, you know. But I say age is a factor for him.
Yeah.
He's not a young buck.
I think he's 31, 32. He's in his 30s.
Right. I mean,
Graham,
the dude looks
Graham
like
is
he's
close.
40.
Yeah.
I'm not being mean. The dude, good dude, but Brandon Graham's the future to me. He's younger, unless I'm mistaken.
He is.
He's definitely younger, and I think he needs more playing time. But then again, Jernigan, when he's healthy, playing time with him, I think he needs to step up too. So to me, I'd rather keep Long and Graham because there's some kind of chemistry there with Fletcher in the middle. You know, and then throw Tim Jernigan in there if we can keep him. You know, contracts are going to have to be restructured. It's also going to matter, in my opinion, just like we saw, you know, Nick Loud restructuring his contract.
Yeah.
You know, I think a lot of players are going to want to do that because they know they have a couple runs here in them.
And, you know, my dad was right last year after the Super Bowl. He brought up the same point that a lot of these guys are going to want to come back, which Chris Long talked about retirement, ended up coming back. Obviously, we didn't have the season that we wanted, but, you know, everybody counted us out, was it halfway through the season? And, you know, we had to make the playoffs.
Right. Well, I also attribute that to our offensive coordinator. That's another topic.
Oh, yeah.
But
I'm pissed that we brought him back.
We'll get to that in a little bit, folks. I mean, there's a lot being the first show together that we're just going to unload, but, I mean, we've had these opinions and talks, so, I mean, it is what it is.
Another name that's... I mean, I would bring up Chris Long, but, you know, we kind of touched on that we both agree that bring him back. You know, if you could keep that front line intact, that's where, you know, the Eagles are going to make their money.
Not only that, he does a lot for the city.
Yeah.
I think he's just a good fit for Philadelphia with him. He fits well with Malcolm Jenkins, and he fits well with Graham and their personalities, and Fletcher Cox and his personality. And I think if they can have more steady time, and you know, a lot of people say they got to stay fresh and they're coming in and out. Some of these defensive players, just like an offensive player, though, needs to get in a groove.
Yeah.
And I think we can see a lot more production out of Brandon Graham if he's in there more.
Yeah.
I mean, look what he does in tight moments when he comes in. You know, he's not in a groove.
Yeah.
You know, so, and then he's facing an opponent with an offensive scheme at that time that's supposedly their best because they're in a crunch.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see more playing time out of Brandon Graham. I'd like Brandon Graham to come back. I think he's an Eagle and needs to stay. That's just my opinion.
One Eagle that I think needs to stay, who's an Eagle true and true, Darren Sproles.
See, we'll disagree here.
Let me guess, you think he's too old?
It's not about age. It's just he's getting at the end of his contract, and with his name, he requires a little more money. And I just think there's other quality out there that we can build a future with. Unfortunately, my biggest problem with him, and it's to no fault of his own, is his injury. He's been prone way too much recently.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to attribute that to old age, fine.
Yeah.
I love Darren Sproles. I love everything he stands for. Being an Eagles fan, I'm a big Drew Brees fan for the same reason. They're smaller guys. It's nice to see a guy like that with tremendous skill do what they can do.
Yeah.
And I'll take nothing away from Darren Sproles. But if I'm going to talk reality, and this will fall back to our conversations with Nick Foles and all that then, well, if we're going to go with reality and what's right, I would walk away from him unless he's going to restructure, take something low, and he's looking to retire as an Eagle.
Well, see, that's what I think he's looking at. He didn't flat out come out and say it, but if you read between the lines, he basically said, it's Eagles or I'm retiring.
Right.
And, you know, he loves the city.
Well,
right.
right.
Here's the thing, though, is what running back on the roster now with his type of skill set could replace him? Josh Adams, as much as me and you love him, he's a bruiser. Corey Clement, he's more of a bruiser than a...
See, I think he has that finesse. I think he got outcasted, and my opinion with him is, after the Super Bowl, we wouldn't have won that without him.
But plus also he's going to be coming back from an ACL injury.
Right, and then the injury. But at first he wasn't getting utilized the right way. I mean, right, but again, it falls back to go get me Todd Gurley right now. How's he helping the Rams being on the sideline?
True.
Right. He sounds great on paper. Everything sounds great on paper at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
Shit, we'll get great Madden reviews. You know, the team will be on 95 and can't sim past anything mid-season.
Yeah.
You know, you got to look at it, man. What's the probability he's going to hurt again? He's older, man. And the problem with me and you, brother, and I just started turning on this, is we like to hold on players we love. Because we for us, football's not an entertainment or a game. It's a life for us.
Yeah.
It's a passion. We get physically attached to these players. And let's just take Brian Dawkins.
Yeah.
We will know, as soon as you mentioned him to me, on how outright disgusted I was that he went to another team for 2 seasons.
Yeah.
I don't care if he wanted $100 million and our team would have suffered for them 2 seasons. There I am with my stupidity. I would have wanted him to stay.
Yeah.
Because he was the heart and soul of the Philadelphia Eagles. You know? So, that's just an example. But, to me, what is Sproles going to require? What kind of money is he looking at?
I mean, I think he was only signed for 1.4 this past year.
You can get him for 1.4 again for a season or 2. I mean, that's not too much of a cap hit. It's a risk worth taking. You're right. He is a finesse player and a game changer. You know, it's just, can he stay healthy?
Yeah.
For that kind of money, I'd keep him around. See, I didn't think he was that low right now.
Even if you just bring him back as a punt returner for that type of price, who else is on the team that could change a game? I mean, Grant, he didn't do that much this year for us on the punt return, but last year there was a game or two that he won for us.
But then again, could we get a good, eager receiver maybe in the draft that super speed, has good returning capabilities, but say needs to work on his route running, so we could draft somebody that'll take the place of just a punt returner?
Well, all right, here's a question then. You said about receiver.
But then again, Clement, if he comes back healthy, he's also fairly well. Listen, he's no Darren Sproles with the moves.
Yeah.
Okay, Darren's a new level. But, you know, he can, in my opinion, carry the workload for special teams punt and kick return.
True.
So can Josh Adams. You get him running downfield, he's going to bust through a hole, he can run one.
Well, no, I can't see Josh Adams as a kick returner, punt returner.
Yeah, see, I can.
His
reminds me of the Eddie George style of running.
Yeah, and that's the north-south, but...
Right. So, and again, we're going to... You know, we'll be different here, but back from the dawn of football till finesse players today, what was it? If he can hit a hole and have blazing speed. So, north and south runner.
Yeah.
So, kick return. All they're looking for you is to hit that crease and go. They're not looking for you to dance.
Yeah.
So, maybe he won't run back 15 touchdowns, but he's giving you a solid 30, 40 yards return on a kickoff.
True. But
you know, we all want that finesse. We want that guy doing the Deion Sanders high stepping as he goes in. You know, we go back to the old Vi Sekahema.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we can go back and back, but that's just my opinion, bro. You know, I mean, shoulders, bro.
One name that you said about a receiver that that we could maybe get to take that workload. Golden Tate. What do you think? Should we bring him back? Now, this past season, he was looking at 6.2.
Right.
He says he wants to come back.
If he can come back in at 4 or 5, I'd like to see him one full season and prep in our offense.
See, that's the thing.
But I don't think he's a number 1 receiver.
No, he's not. And I think when we traded for him, we weren't expecting that. We were expecting what Aguilar did last year, to have Tate do it and then some. And
here's the thing, too. As much as I hate Aguilar, and you know I have never been a fan of his, he grew on me in the sense that he has potential if he can stay this way.
Yeah.
He is, when it comes to hockey, a Fleury to me.
Okay.
Aguilar. Fleury is one of the best goalies in my opinion, not because he's a Penguin. I follow him on Vegas.
Yeah.
And as much as I said, get rid of him, he's getting old, and I want Murray. Murray's now injury prone when it comes to hockey.
Yeah.
So sorry to get off sidetrack, but my point would be this. When he's in his own head and he's playing well, he's at the top of his game. He's an Marc-Andre winning Stanley Cup style.
Yeah.
But when shit goes wrong for him, he also goes the other way. He gets in his own head. Okay. The only thing I can say for him, he's been healthy.
Yeah.
And he's got some speed. He's also another one in my mind. Why can't he do kick and punt return?
Well, that's why I bring it up is if you're not going to sign Darren Sproles, maybe put that extra money that you were going to sign Sproles with towards Golden Tate. Me personally, I wouldn't bring him back unless it's a lot cheaper. He's been around a while now. He's probably getting close to that 30 age, that 30 mark for football players. But
for me with him, I guess the biggest thing is I didn't see any breakout speed from him.
And I did see a lot of breaking tackles, and that's when he was coming in. That's the reason why we kind of traded for him, for like the screens and stuff like that. But
correct.
To me, if you're going to break tackles, I kind of agree with you. You got to have that speed to just take off.
Well, that's just it. Is he our slot? Then Aguilar's not our slot. Are you moving him to 2 and keeping Alshon at 1?
Yeah, Alshon's always going to be the 1. I think we need a deep threat. When we traded for him, and I believe at the time, it wasn't the kid that got traded to the Cowboys. I forget what other receiver was out there that we were going to trade for, and we didn't get him. Oh, Jesus, who was it? It wasn't Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper went to the Cowboys. We got Tate. I forget. But we need a deep threat, and that's why even a couple weeks ago when Deshaun Jackson made the comment about wanting out of Tampa Bay, yes, he's older. Yes, he caused problems for us. I would take him back.
Yeah, I'm going to stop you right there again. We're going to see, this is why we're a good tandem for this, because as much as we love the Eagles and we are so best friends, we so disagree at times. Because as much as I liked Deshaun when he was here, he has proven nothing anywhere else that I would want him. To me, that's bring him back an ex that you had pretty good times with, but when you were together, you knew it wasn't working and you had to get out of it. But now, because you miss those finesse plays here and there and you forget all the bad stuff, you want them back, you know?
But the thing is, you look at the coaching staff that was there when he was there compared to who we got here now, and I think Doug Peterson, Malcolm Jenkins, all those guys could keep him in check, especially with this offense. And this, I will admit to, that Deshaun is kind of a TO. When things are going good, he's doing great. When things aren't going good, not my fault. It's Carson Wentz's fault. It's Nick Foles' fault. But that's the chance I'm willing to take on him, because I think that's the one of the two things that's missing in our offense is that deep threat to open up the running game.
Well, with that being said, also there's so many holes on the offensive line that are happening now. Jason Peters is.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I love the bodyguard, and I'll never forget the one memory I will always have with him. And me and you were at the game against the Redskins, and sure enough, it was actually against Nick Foles when the Redskins.
Trent Williams. With the dirty hit.
Yeah, and Foles threw the interception, and he was nowhere near the play, and just destroyed Foles.
Right.
And Jason Peters ran a whole 20 yards, bull rushed him into the Redskins sideline, beating the crap out of him.
I think he also threw the left-right uppercut. Uppercut too.
And I mean, you probably could go on YouTube and find the video, and also the other video that I loved too about him was last year, Jake Elliott against the Giants when he made the 62-yard field goal. He missed a field goal earlier in that game, and Jason Peters went up to him and gave him a little pep talk and said, "Hey, you got this. Don't worry about it. Just don't miss it." And I'm sorry, when you got 6'8", 350-pound lineman look at me, I ain't missing no more field goals. But yeah, I think it's time for him to retire. I have no confidence whatsoever in Vaitai. I think that's dead weight we should get rid of. So maybe, left tackle might be something that we'd be looking at a draft at.
See, I mean, I'm just doing some little research here now. Adam Humphries, for example, out of Tampa Bay, he's possibly going to be a free agent.
Oh, okay. I thought he was like a rookie or a first year.
No, I like him a lot. I think he could add speed. I mean, he could take over in that sense.
Yeah.
What it comes down to is we need to wait for after the Super Bowl and see what the official market looks like. But I think we need to make decisions and move from it.
Yeah. So, with your that
boy
being,
Cole Beasley, he's going to be a free agent too.
Yeah, you see all the shots he's taking at the Cowboys, dude. I was loving that. Sorry, Cowboy fans. I think he's overrated anyways. I don't think he's that
I wouldn't
good.
let him clean my jock, but
Yeah, I give him a number 3, maybe a 4 spot receiver. He's not no.
receiver. I was giving him 3rd or 4th round towel boy. Jesus.
So
I like to, if it comes to that, I would like to get Adam Thielen. Then, I mean, at least he has skill.
So we talked a little bit about the free agents possibly coming up, and I'll probably warn you guys right now. You might want to turn your volumes down a little bit because this may get heated, may get loud. There may be some body slams through tables. How do you feel about Nick Foles? What should we do with him?
Finish him. No. Listen, it's simple. And, this is the part that I was going to a doctor's appointment down in Philly, and I had to drive, and I listened to a whole radio show that was nothing about but this. And there was a lot of great opinions and views, and this is where my loyalty is going to come in and make me feel stupid, because I have a big loyalty to Nick. You know this.
Yeah.
I watched him in college from his transfer from Michigan State to Arizona. And I get the goosebumps now because it was one thing that first time I was ever 100% dead set this was going to happen, Jimbo. I looked at you and said, he's going to win us the Super Bowl. You laughed in my face.
No, I did.
A bunch of people laughed at me, okay? Yeah. And then, to my demise, he got traded to St. Louis.
Which I'll admit myself.
Again.
I'll admit to myself, I was pissed myself that we traded for Sam Bradford. If it was for any other quarterback, possibly.
Right, yeah, I'll give you that. You're right. Here's my proven for him is he a Tom Brady? No. Well, he doesn't cheat, but that's why. But
and he catches footballs too.
Right. Yes, he does. He has something about him other than football. And I don't know if any other Philadelphians have noticed this or major Philadelphia fans. He rallies this team. This team, for some reason, plays for him better than they do for Carson Wentz.
Well, I have a response for that one.
Well, all right, we'll get to that then. Because let's start right there. Because my theory, all right, let me throw it out there. What I want is I don't think we should, and he deserves it, but here's me being greedy. We should tenure him and waste the money for a year or two. We have rebuilding to do anyway. We have a good core right now. So let's bring everybody back then if we're going to do it that way. It's a hit or miss anyway.
Yeah.
Okay? Until Carson Wentz can stay healthy and show me he's going to move on, why? Why are we giving up a guy that he's proven in the big time? He didn't just... Carson Wentz gave us the season. Half the season, quarter season, 3 quarters, whatever you want to say. Lovely. But we all know the season restarts. And that's playoff time.
But that's the thing, though, is Foles this past year started the first 3 games and struggled.
Right. Now, was it him that struggled? Or I'm going to debate that, and I'll go back to the games right now and tell you it wasn't Nick Foles that struggled. Nick Foles didn't struggle. Nick Foles was getting hit from every side and every angle.
Yeah.
Just like Wentz was when he first came in, because for some reason our offensive line and everything was not gelling. And I can't remember. I think there were some injuries in and out and movement and stuff like that. We weren't the same team. We weren't ready the first 3 games of the season.
Yeah. And
I'm also going to attribute to this year. I think I'm not that offensive coordinator.
No, I totally agree.
He came in with a new game plan than what we did, and it pisses me off.
Yeah.
You win a Super Bowl. I wish we could make a rule in the NFL, and I know coaches, it's not fair. When a team wins a Super Bowl, they can't get rid of any coaching staff until they don't win.
Yeah, I mean, that's not fair to the coordinators then.
Why? They're not going to be wanted even if they don't win it the next year?
So, like Josh McDaniels, supposedly the next McVay or whatever you want to call his name, if the Patriots win this year, he's already lined up for like 3-4 jobs. So now those
right, but he also screwed over, what was it, Detroit last season?
Indianapolis.
I'm sorry, you're right. They're both blue and white. So how can you trust a guy like that? But here's my point, though. I didn't want to see our team go because you got to understand, Philadelphia, it's been how long? 1960.
Yeah.
So we finally got a core that did it right. And not only did they do it right, but they arguably beat the best.
Yeah.
People are going to say he is or he isn't, or it's a different time. Right now in the league, I hate Tom Brady, but what him and Belichick did, how could we say cheating or not? Listen, man, I've thrown footballs, and I was a decent quarterback.
Yeah.
If you deflate a ball or not, and I'll get into this is a whole other story, but if it's cheating or not, or if he was caught or not, deflated or not, man, you still got to throw that pigskin.
Yeah, you still got to read the defense and stuff like
You
that.
still got to put the so that's like saying giving me a hard ball or a T-ball and telling me that I'm going to pitch faster.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. I still got to hit the target.
Yeah.
So unless it's a self-guided missile, or it looks for a microchip in somebody's jersey, it is what it is.
No, yeah. That's why I kind of laughed about the whole deflate gate and everything like that. Getting back on
because
top.
we love to hate them.
Yeah.
Every good product needs a villain,
Well, yeah.
and we all can say that Cowboys, Eagles, Redskins, Giants.
Yeah.
We all hate the Patriots.
Yeah. We all agree.
Just like
to
we
that.
all hate the Cowboys, America's team. But, it is what it is.
So to kind of get back on track with the Foles thing, so you gave your points. My only issue is
That we need a separate show for this because this is going to fill up 6 hours. 'Cause I'm not done.
Foles hasn't shown me. You're saying, yeah, he's ready for the big game. He could take over the game, this and that. But to get to the big game, you have to win the regular season.
Right, which he has shown. He has all the Eagles records.
Donovan McNabb, all the Eagles records. How many Super Bowls did he win? How many playoff games did he win?
Exactly. There's my point. You just answered my point against you. I hated him.
He won all of the regular season, not just Carson Wentz get hurt week 16,
Did
week
he?
15.
Or how many times did our great defense bail McNabb out
He played on a broken ankle.
and threw up his Campbell soup on the field?
He was bad juju.
Yeah, bad juju. I'm open over here.
I do agree with you that Wentz needs to show that he's going to be.
Bro, can you attribute everything that he did wrong this year? And I like Wentz. I'm not against Wentz.
Yeah.
But he had a McNabb style. He was in the dirt and over the head all of a sudden. You can't blame a knee injury for that.
You could.
Bro, come on.
If you've seen some of those videos that he was doing, sitting down and throwing, you know yourself as a quarterback, that's going to screw your mechanics up because you got to feet and stuff like that.
But tell that to a Joe Montana or a guy back in the day who was had broken bones, didn't even know it, and threw game-winning touchdowns.
But
tell that to Tom Brady.
But those guys played through it.
Right.
Carson Wentz isn't, and he's doing these sit-down videos that are screwing up his mechanics. Now, let's see what happens next year.
But is it worth it? Because then, if he fails again, we're getting nothing for him.
Yeah, supposedly the rumor is we're going to let Nick Foles walk without any compensation. We're not going to franchise him. I'm not going to do any of that
I think
stuff.
that's wrong. I like to trade him to Jacksonville, and I can respect that and get something. You were talking about possibly the Leonard Fournette thing.
Yeah.
But all right, let's get back to this. We're gonna debate this because it has to be out there. Now, see, I wish I had callers because I would love to take calls right now and spark this because I can seriously do.
We do have calls. You call 555. Shoulders doesn't know jack.
Right, and that's followed up by jimwho.com. But anyway, the consensus is we shouldn't let a Super Bowl quarterback. Again, he didn't just win the Super Bowl, so let's say, all right, he can't win the regular season. Whatever, all right. He not only did he go to Super Bowl and win it, but he was Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah.
How many people can say that?
No, I know. And it's up there, like, what was it, Jeff
If he
Hostetler
just
with the
kept it
Giants?
enough, and our defense won that game against the Patriots, which it didn't. It was a shootout, bro.
Yeah. No,
bro,
it was.
Shoulders, bro. Shootout, okay? Something's there.
Yeah.
I told you, I can't say he can't win in the regular. Why can't he? He's a different Nick Foles. Well, I think he can. He had a shit coordinator. Let's face it, Philadelphia. Our coordinator's he's ass.
Yeah.
He's terrible. And if Doug Peterson doesn't change that, we're in for a miserable season again.
Well, he already said he's keeping all the coordinators.
Well, and if he's going to do that, we're going to have cars overturned and burning. Because that guy was a joke.
Yeah.
And maybe he was trying to prove something, didn't want to stick to the plan, but hike up your pants and stick to the plan, pal.
Unless Doug Peterson takes the play calling back over, because I know the first half of the season that was strictly OC. At some point, I really think it was when we started going on that the win streak, Peterson started to take a little bit of the control back. He still let the OC make
that's what we need to do. We need to call Doug Peterson right now and find out.
All right,
because if that's the case,
555 Doug Peterson. Paging Doug Peterson?
Call in, Doug, because we need to know if you did, because there was something that changed when Nick Foles' magic came in. Not only did the team rally around him, but the play calling was better, not great, because there were still a lot of plays where I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
Well, here's the only thing I could maybe say, and this is gonna go against my opinion about what we should do with Foles.
Big Dick Nick.
Foles obviously is a totally different quarterback than Wentz is. Foles is a pocket passer. Wentz is a scrambler. There's no pocket passing with him.
And I'm going to say this: what scrambling quarterback has multiple championships?
Yeah, and your offensive line doesn't have to worry about, okay, my back's to you. Okay, is he run out right? Is he run out?
Right.
You just have to worry about, okay, just got to block this guy, and that's that.
What were my key points with Foles when he came into the league? Size, mechanics, and intelligence.
Yeah. And
he's got the making of a Tom Brady. He's got the making of a Joe Montana. And he's got the clutch.
Yeah.
So to me, your main season games will work itself out because there has to be some growth there because he hasn't had the opportunities. He's always, when he gets a full team opportunity, he's on a team of scrubs.
Yeah. And
St. Louis, he got his ass kicked.
And that's
Philadelphia Eagles during that time, he ran for his life how many times?
Yeah, because it was a totally different offense of what he should have been in.
Right.
So.
And I think Philadelphia is a fit. So call me crazy. There's great quarterbacks coming in the draft. I would roll. I think Foles. Listen, brother. If I told you 10 years ago, I give you a quarterback that wins us a championship against the Patriots.
Yeah.
Okay. Joe Blow. Joe Blow. We draft him. I'm telling you right now, he's going to win us a championship. He's going to be NFL MVP, but he won't win us another one. But he'll give us 8 exciting seasons before we get our next prodigy. Would you have taken that? You can't sit here and think. You know you would have jumped on that. You would have jumped out with your rock out, and you would have been happy as a pig and shit.
No, yeah.
So why, being me and you, see, this is where I don't get it, because being as loyal as we are and putting the emotion into it, how are we not loyal enough to say, Nick Foles stays, we let Carson Wentz, it's worth the gamble. We're talking $27 million between the two of them to make it work.
But now, here's the only downfall with trying to keep Foles is the whole salary cap thing. Mm-hmm. I think, as far as the salary cap, that they won't be able to franchise them because of our space. I think if we franchise Foles, it's like a $24 million tag.
Right.
Transition is a little cheaper, but he still has a team
nothing
option
for him. And I want Nick to do nothing. And what did I tell you as soon as we traded him to St. Louis? I hope they win 6 Super Bowls with him. Did I not?
Yeah, no, you did.
And I'm a diehard Eagles fan. I don't want nobody else to win.
Yeah.
But I love Big Dick Nick.
Yeah.
And it's a funny thing for him, and I believe in him. But one other core point that I need to get off my mind that's been bothering me since this has all been going through. Is Carson Wentz really the guy we think he is as a person and leadership? He shows his organization. He believes in God. He seems like a Saint Nick, right?
Yeah.
Seems like a Saint Nick. Great. Lovely. But why aren't the guys rallying around him the same way?
See, I disagree with that, because did you see about the story that came out a week or two ago?
Right. I could put a story out there tomorrow,
but
too.
No, a reporter.
Fagjournal.com.
A reporter came out, NewJersey.com or whatever it was, that the locker room is divided on Carson Wentz. He's a prima donna, this, that, the other thing. An hour later, the whole team, Fletcher Cox, Chris Long, Malcolm Jenkins.
Right. But wouldn't that be the right thing to do, knowing that he's probably going to be the quarterback moving forward? Do you think it was all honesty?
If it was 1 or 2 players and not 10 or 15 of them?
I don't know, bro. We get together as an organization, we got to do damage control. They're on to us. We got to cover this up.
No.
Look at the Steelers for how many years they covered it up. Now it's going to shit. My point is what are you telling me? There's something there with Carson Wentz. I love the guy.
Yeah.
When he's on top of his game, like that last season that we did go to the Super Bowl before he got hurt, then right. But here's the thing, man. Could we go back in time and say, what if he stays healthy and he loses the Super Bowl? You still want him?
Yeah. Now, he's projected to be they say $200 million contract guy, Wentz. Right. I would pay him only about $18 million a year. I would not pay to 2025 that he might be projected to begin.
So there's my point.
Until he proves that he could stay healthy.
Even if he does, he's injured. Shoulders, bro. All right? You go back, he's been injured high school and college.
But did he ever get the time to heal up? That's why he's been sitting out since
Ladies and gentlemen, you can't see my jaw hit the ground here. Time to fucking heal up. Are you kidding me?
He's been playing every
Bones
week.
Hill. He's my favorite player too. Randall Cunningham. He's right there on my wall, right there. Rubber man, dude, couldn't stay healthy. You do no good to me. Let's face the facts, ladies and gentlemen. You can have all the talent in the world, but if you can't do the game the proper way, or stay healthy, or have the luck, or the stars on your side, let's call it what it is, because it's all it is a crapshoot.
Yeah.
Then you got to move on, bro.
Yeah.
And we're gonna give up a guy that's done it. I think we owe Nick the chance to stay on the Eagles. He won us a Super Bowl. There's the trophy, bro. Yeah. That should say thank you, Nick Foles. Now other players did it, but Nick had a tremendous.
Technically, Brandon Graham sealed the deal for us, so
bring him back.
But so I think that's going to be it for us this episode. I hope your blood pressure is going to come down now.
No, we need to go right into episode 2. I'm not done.
I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of spin-off to Stay Tuned Sports.
I think everybody needs to send a email or a tweet to Jimbo and tell him that I need to be on the show, because apparently I'm the only audacity of reason in this.
So just a reminder, guys, we got bare knuckle boxing tomorrow night, because right now it's Friday recording. I'm going to be live tweeting that, so you could follow us over on the show's page at ST Sports Podcast. Follow my personal one at Jimbo ST Sports. And
post a lot on their hashtag Nick Stays.
and once Shoulders gets his Twitter, maybe we'll get that going for him also.
Well, I got a Twitter, but it's got my full name, and I don't want the ladies hitting me up being a married man, so I gotta create a sports personality one. So it says, because I'd love to have feedback.
So it says Small Shoulders Bra?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Small shoulders.
Hashtag shoulders. But thanks for joining us, guys. I will see you next week. This is your good friend Jimbo.
Hey, this is B-Dog with you. Hey, man, God bless everybody. Stay safe and love one another.
And especially be safe Sunday with the Super Bowl. Do you want to do a quick Super Bowl pick before we sign off? I already gave mine on Thursday. Who do you got?
Yeah, bro. I don't know if it's want for myself, but I hate to say it. I want the Patriots to win because I'm hoping that bastard just retires. Rise out on the sunset. So.
All right, so there you go,
I don't
guys.
want the Rams to win one yet.
There's a Shoulders prediction, and we'll see how it works out. See you guys next week.
Peace.